Hey, money actors. Today we're going to look at the film Wall Street from 1987, which was an Oliver Stone film. And we're going to look at Gordon Gekko, his top 5 quotes. And yeah, you may say, hey, wasn't he the bad guy in that film? And yes, he was. But a lot of times we can glean some good information from the bad guys or the villains in a lot of the popular films. So we're going to do a countdown from 5 down to number 1. We're going to start off with this first one.
The point is, ladies and gentlemen, that greed, for lack of a better word, is good.
So a lot of people view the rich as greedy, and not all of them are. Some of them, sure, will be. But in this sense, you have to look at why greed is good. And really, it's human nature. Human nature is to, look out for number one, I guess, in some sense. And a lot of times we want to push these socialist ideals because they do sound good. They do sound better. Like if we could all just be this perfect human being that lives like ants or bees, where we're this, one mind. I know that's what a lot of the elites want us to be, is just this hive mind and just do what you're told. But that's not human nature. Human nature is to build and create. And the thing is yes, it's greedy in one sense because you wouldn't do certain things to serve others unless it didn't benefit yourself. But that's how you help your fellow man. You build something that helps them out, that they're willing to exchange their productivity for your productivity. And that's why you strive to make this thing that they need so that they buy from you and vice versa. And so, yes, if you boil it down to this quote, greed, for lack of a better term, is good. So now we're going to go to number 4.
The mother of all evil is speculation.
So when we take this quote, we have to look at what people do as far as trading. So in 1971, when Nixon took us off the gold standard, all of a sudden you couldn't just put your money in the bank anymore, because money definitely became worthless over time very quickly. And so we had to start speculating, and people just kind of these days just hand their money over to a financial advisor who takes zero risk with all of your money, which you're taking 100% of the risk, and you're hoping that they just do good. And we've seen market crashes at least 4 times in the last 25 years. That gets wiped out, and then it has to build itself back up again, only to crash again. And so when you actually see it with inflation, you're getting nowhere. Meanwhile, these hedge funds are getting richer and richer. And so in this sense, you're speculating completely blind, and you're going to lose. And what he's getting at is that, information is key. And he's really saying insider information, which is illegal. But what I'm saying is you need to have a financial education so that you don't get screwed. And if you have a financial education, then you can start purchasing assets that replace your expenses, so you can kind of take the guesswork out of retirement instead of saving a finite amount of money, which nobody really knows what they need. You don't know how long you're going to live. You don't know how much inflation is going to destroy the value of your dollar that's probably tied up in a 401k. Maybe that's going to crash. So there is a better way, and it's with a financial education first and foremost, that we were never taught in school, and then move on from there to start grabbing what really brings in the money, so you're not speculating. So now we're going to go to number 3.
But Fox, I look at 100 deals a day. I choose one.
So with that quote, I use the same philosophy with other investments that I do. I don't particularly like stocks. Some people do. I'm not going to be doing well against a day trader that does this for a living. And so what I like to do, I personally like real estate. There's other things that I like as well. But in that case, you do the same thing. You look at 100 deals, you look at 100 homes, and then you pick one. And this kind of research is probably what most people do when they're looking for a liability. So when they're going to price cars, they're looking for the best car that they like, and then they pick one. Only that really doesn't get you anywhere. If you use that same technique that you do with buying liabilities, what's the best computer to buy? What's the best TV to buy? Do that instead with assets that bring in money. Now that's where it's going to change your life and get you other places. And now you can use that asset to buy those liabilities instead. All right, number 2.
Money never sleeps, pal.
So with velocity of money, that's the exchanging of hands of a single dollar. So $1 goes from you to pay for a cab driver to go home. And then that cab driver goes to get gas. And then that gas station person goes to the movie theater with that same dollar. So that's a velocity of 4 with that same single dollar. And you can use this in your own life to generate what's called arbitrage, where you can turn $1 into $3 or $4. And so at Money Act, we like to do that, where we take $1 and arbitrage it and turn it into $3 or $4. And that's why, in our terms, money never sleeps. It's velocity of money that helps you push forward into an early retirement. All right, so number 1 is the most important.
The most valuable commodity I know of is information.
So this is the foundational quote for Money Act. And I mentioned this earlier, but financial education is the single most important thing you can do for your money. So people go to college, they go to K through 12, never learn about money. They learn how to go get a job and invest in a 401k, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, etc. And if they just take that next step to learn about money, then it makes life so much easier, because money really gives you options, and options are what you need to either survive a recession, survive a loss of a job, or not just survive, but then thrive. Being able to do the things that you want, take that vacation that you want, that bucket list item that you knock off every single year, or twice a year, or 3 times a year, that car that you've always wanted, that house of your dreams. So money gives you options. Why would you not learn about that as a foundation of life? Everything revolves around money. And so, yeah, that sucks, but that's life. And money is an amazing invention because it helps you from bartering. You know, back in the day, they'd say, I've got this cow, but I need, a service from a doctor. But you can't divide that cow up into pieces and sell it to the doctor. It's much harder to barter that way, where money has a nice, clear set of measurement of value that you can exchange and trade for, so that you can get all the things that you want. So money is not the root of all evil. And I know that's what a lot of people think, especially when looking at a movie like Wall Street. But there's some nice hidden gems with these quotes that can actually help you survive and thrive in this world.